Small Time Critics. I'm Mohammed Hashi, 1/3 of Small Time Critics, and
Yes,
most still on holiday, you know what I mean?
Slacking.
Slacking. Nah, I hope he's enjoying.
Everyone deserves a rest, man.
100%, but it's okay. We've got Midnight Gaz himself, you know what I mean? One of the greats from the Post Credit Scene podcast.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
Gaz in the building. What are you saying, brother?
All right, man. Busy.
Good
but
man.
Always good to be with you, man. And yes, it's coming to the end of the year, but it's not slowing down.
No.
It's not at all where you'd think it is, but there's still like so much stuff coming out. We've got, obviously, by this time it comes out, I don't know, but Morano's tomorrow. We've got like, still some shows coming out, and yeah, it's just busy. But good busy, you know, it keeps us active.
Good busy, that's 100%. And I mean, the operative word, bro. But yeah, as you can see, guys, we are reviewing a Netflix film called Woman of the Hour, directed and starring Anna Kendrick. And for me, I heard a lot of great stuff about this film. And I thought, you know what, let me give it a go. I'm always interested to see what first-time directors do. And for me to kick it off, I thought this was a great debut film, man.
Mm-hmm.
It really sustained my interest. It was very, very compelling. It was also like had me kind of like on edge, and like was very suspenseful in many ways. So yeah, like the film it's basically about an actress who's trying to like make it in Hollywood in the 70s, and basically her trials and tribulations in trying to kind of become an actress. Mm-hmm. And then basically her getting like to be on kind of like a dating show, like Blind Date kind of thing. And
prepare her career sort of thing, right?
Exactly, to help her career. And obviously in the background of that is the fact that we have a kind of basically a serial killer on the loose in California in the kind of late 70s, basically, like 60s/late 70s, basically. And that there's kind of stories on top of each other. And then them essentially meeting on the kind of show, quote unquote, the Woman of the Hour, i.e. kind of Anna Kendrick on this kind of blind date show. Yeah, man, this movie like was like very upsetting at times, I have to admit, man, like in terms of like what it was showing, in terms of like abuse of like, I mean, women and stuff like that. But at the same time, a story that needed to be told, like for me. But yeah, man, let me hear what we thinking, guys.
I heard like rave reviews, so part of me was going into a film with like high expectation. I think it delivered on the expectations, but the film still delivers. It's still a good film that touches on very like pertinent and pressing topics that unfortunately will never not be important to talk about, because I think as long as mankind lives, and the way mankind has sort of been either indoctrinated or we have been sort of portrayed and led in a way of thinking about how we treat women, there are people out there that view certain patterns of behavior as either normal or acceptable or carry out these actions, right?
Yep.
And it all starts from like a fundamental of misogyny and mistreatment of women, from the way you speak to the way you act to the way you think, which all intertwine into the way misogyny is rife in today's world, and probably has been forever, unfortunately. And I think the series does a good job of showing you quite viscerally, without going overboard, the actions of a man who views women as something he can possess and use for his will. And the way like the actor's name has lost me, I think his name is Daniel Zavato. Yeah, Daniel Zavato, and he plays Alcala, photographer.
Yeah, Rodney Alcala,
and uses his like charm and charisma
very charming,
as like a front and a guise, to then draw people, women specifically in this instance, draw them in to his world and his realm and his way of thinking, to then capitalize on their admiration for him, I guess, or the charm that he offers. And he's an opportunist.
Oh, without doubt.
A lot of men that like view women as things they can use are opportunists. They take an opportunity to attack and to treat women as prey. And the film does a good job of showing you that it's suspenseful, as you said. Like that, anytime you can feel he's about to do something, there's like an eerie use of the score, the sounds to like let you know that there's been a trigger. I think that was really good. There are moments where you can see the trigger in him, where he's like, he switches on and he's like, or switches off, depending on perspective, but switches and you can see like he's about to potentially do something.
Crazy,
it's very
yeah.
chilling, especially the use of sound. I think visually, it's actually very beautiful to look at, whilst still having the element where the set design tells you this is the 1970s.
Yeah.
It looks modern from like a filmmaking perspective.
Yeah.
But the set design immerses you in that, like, and the color grading immerses you in that, like, 1970s, 80s sort of aesthetic.
Yeah.
So it's a well-made film. I think it's a great debut for someone that's
on a technical level, isn't it? It's like she's really well done. Like some great shots.
studied. I feel like she studied film, not from just like I went to school, but like studied filmmakers.
Yeah, being on sets and all that kind of stuff.
Acting performances are, there's no one really that doesn't deliver here.
Yeah.
I just think based upon the expectation I had, it wasn't as good as what people sold it to me to be, but it's still a good film. It was also a tough film to watch, especially because I feel like in the last couple of years we've had a lot of films that delve into those sort of topics of
it's true
abuse, opportunist, misogyny. We saw it with Blink Twice, Speak No Evil to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more that I can't think of, but those are like the ones that come to mind that I've seen in the last few months.
Yeah.
Of like women being a crux of a story where, like, you know, they've been attacked or they've been abused or they've been sort of manipulated in some sort of way. And those are tough stories to watch when you see them quite often. And in one sense they are very necessary, and in another sense it can be hard to watch. But I think for men it's important to watch.
Yeah.
To be aware of the behaviours that not we as individuals but we as a group carry out. And yeah, great performances, man. I forgot who's the leading lady. Sorry,
Anna Kendrick.
So she was. Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, she starred in it and directed it. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, that's why I give her even more props, because she literally did a Clint Eastwood.
Amazing.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Like when you think about it, because again, it's so many things to have to juggle in it. Like the fact that she's the star as well as also being the director.
That's really impressive.
You know what I mean? And also, I want to also give it up to
really
Ian. Yeah. I also want to give it up to Ian McDonald, who wrote the screenplay. I thought a very kind of like well structured film, because it's kind of going back and forth and stuff like that. One gripe I have is the kind of like B story with the mixed race woman.
Oh, because of her friend.
Yes, because of her friend, and like that, her kind of like her being in the offices and trying to get help and stuff like that. But again, I think maybe that was important to kind of show the fact that women report stuff and it gets ignored. Because the thing where he said, oh, the producer's going to come and stuff like that, and that producer ends up being the cleaner kind of thing. Like the name that he gives her is the cleaner, and even the way that guy like was just, he felt so sorry. I'm sorry, that's that.
When she's in the police station.
Yeah, no, when she's in the office
room.
yeah.
Right. That's in the studio.
Yeah, in the studio. Yeah, and obviously in the police station, everything gets falls on deaf ears as well in there. So I think at the time when I watched it, I was like, oh, I don't really understand why that's in there. But then afterwards, after the fact, you think about it more. That's in there to kind of to show and signify to the audience
the flaws of society.
Yes, and our justice system as well, and the fact that women were getting ignored at that time.
It's systemic behaviour, and again misogyny, which leads to like when women report certain things and it gets completely ignored. I think that was well portrayed through her character, and I actually think it was necessary for the story. Her character did come out of nowhere, which was like she wasn't present for like the first act or so. She comes in when they're in the studio, right? That's the first time we see her. But then it also does make sense, because it's like, I do like the fact that they've put potential, a victim, someone that knows a victim and someone that could be a victim in the same vicinity of the man who's the perpetrator of all these actions. His acting was really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Because you could sense, again, as I said before, the switch from when he's like charming and charisma to I'm about to strike, to like the trigger, and we can see the violent tendencies inside his head sort of spinning. I feel like I could see the clockworks working in his head, where it's like he's either getting angry or he feels like this is an opportunity to carry out his actions.
And also like when he realizes it's not going well for him, and they're not kind of like picking up what he's putting down. And I'm thinking specifically of that woman in New York, where she basically essentially used him to kind of get all her stuff in the apartment. But then when she realized the way the convo was going, she just tried to squash it straight away. And then once he realized that she wasn't feeling him, that's when, what you're saying, that's when the switch turned.
And it always gives us a different perspective of his attacks. The first one was through the perspective of like a car window or something like that?
No, it was through a camera lens.
The first one?
The very first one, the film opens with them in the desert.
One after that then, where we get it from like a different perspective.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're right. And then the one in the apartment is like through the window glass, right at the top.
Yes, we get to see the attack from that,
Yeah, and I think...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, you are right. It's through... The film opens through a car going through a desert and then a camera. But actually, you see the attack from a car window, you're right. On top of the hill. You're home right. Sorry about that.
That's cool. It's fine. Yeah, I like giving us different perspectives of, those actions. Don't like seeing those sort of scenes,
But the way Anna Kendrick was doing it, like, to kind of, like, see it from afar... kind of like a voyeur perspective, and the fact that we have as audience have no control, and also lessening it for us because seeing it so up close, it's so visceral, whereas seeing it from there we're still able to, see what's happening, but at the same time not be as involved and as close, if that makes sense.
It doesn't make it like voyeuristic.
Yes. And I think for me, like, the third act was very, very powerful in the fact that once you realize the Anna Kendrick Cheryl character is like realizing like this guy isn't, you know what I mean?
In the restaurant or the bar?
The bar, in that bar. Also, I think the contestant number 2, as bad as he was, did her solid by saying, watch out for that guy. You know what I mean? As he was saying goodbye to her.
It speaks to like, the 3 men speak to like different levels and stages of...
maturity.
One, maturity, but also, they were all misogynist in their own way.
Yes.
And they all mistreated women, more so 2 and 3. Badly, or spoke about women badly in different ways. There are different levels to like the way we as men can be perpetrators of negative behaviors to women. So Mama spoke about the bra size, blah blah blah. What he expects from a woman, which, hear me out, is for some part a general conversation that men might have about what they like in women.
Yeah.
It's still misogynist.
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
misogynistic. It's still not necessarily right, but it happens.
Yeah.
He's still somewhat of a bad person in an instance, but then there's the upper level. There's the man who will attack, and there's the man who treated women as prey, which is what contestant number 3 was like. And you're right, he still showed humanity in his watch out for Merman, which she didn't initially pay sort of attention to.
Yeah.
But then she saw that once we're in the restaurant, you saw the triggers, and I like the scene where she nodded when he asked for more Mai Tais.
Yeah.
And she was like,
yeah.
And then the woman was like, oh, we're closing now. But then at the same time, you've not helped her. Well, you said they're closing. It's like, you probably could have kept them in there for a bit more time, because whilst you're there, she's safer. Once she's out there in the car park, it's a 1v1, and she only got saved because the guys came out of the studio.
Exactly. And then for me, like,
or wherever they came from.
Yeah, literally like from one of the studio lots, you're honest, right? And for me, what was really shocking was the fact that obviously all these kind of stories that we're seeing, all these women and stuff like that being attacked, we're thinking it all happened in the past. And that one with the young girl was literally the last attack he ever did. And to know that she was safe, because obviously you see how young she was, it's like, oh my goodness, oh no, you know what I mean? And obviously when he then like literally tackles her, you think, oh, that's over. She died like the rest of them kind of thing. The other 2 women. And then for it to be, all right, for the scene to go the way it was, where she basically tricks him into thinking... She's
like, oh, come, let's go back to your place. Like, she had to essentially...
act as if she was embarrassed and she didn't want anyone to know. Like,
to appease him?
To appease him, which was such quick thinking, by the way. And such a strong human being to be able to do that, given the trauma she just went through, kind of thing. And I thought that was a fantastic way to end the film. Fantastic way to end the film for me.
I think one of the flaws, I don't think we always need context. Sometimes context can...
Oh, you mean the chirons, the kind of like title cards at the end?
Yeah, I didn't mind that, to be fair.
Okay.
When I say context, like, sometimes you can just be a bad human being, innit? But I might have missed stuff, but I would have liked to have just seen an instance of what made him be who he is. I'm someone that likes that though. I like to understand human beings.
Yeah.
And I generally imagine being a podcaster, but I'm generally someone that likes to listen more than talk.
Yeah.
I analyze people, so I like to see what makes people tick and who they are. So with him, I might have missed it, and you can help me out, maybe.
No, because you're 100% right. Because the younger girl asked him on a car ride towards the desert, "Tell me about yourself and tell me about your dad." And did he leave you an orphan? He wasn't speak. He didn't mention a single. He didn't want to reveal any bit of information about his past at all.
But then at the same time, sometimes it's good because context can make you sympathize for somebody who's a bad human being.
Yes. And I assume that's the reason why we didn't get that, because we don't want to be sympathetic to them in any way, shape, or form by them saying I was abused when I was a child, hence the reason why I abused. You know what I mean? I felt like that would lessen it. That would lessen
you're right.
That would lessen the ending for me.
What I was going to do is use the Penguin as a comparison. But at the same time, I don't know if they are comparable because the acts are different. Yeah. Oz is a criminal who's selling drugs and he's manipulating, grooming a young child and so on, which is wrong.
Yeah.
But this is a different kind of wrong.
Yes.
It's very in of its own world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they are even comparable because Penguin gives us context to Oz, but we still hate him by the end.
Yeah.
But I think there are different ways we can storytell. And we don't always have to understand why someone's done something. I like to, but in this instance, he's done so much treacherous behaviour, and he's shown difference between him and Oz. I guess Oz shows redeemable traits, whether we believe them or not.
Yeah, this
guy's got no redeemable traits whatsoever. So I think that's the big difference as well. Don't know why I've drawn the Penguin in, but I managed to do so.
No, I hear it.
But he was good. He was really good in the film, and I think it touches on important themes. It's a good film. And I really love the aesthetic, man. I can't lie.
Yeah. No, for me, I've always loved the 70s kind of thing, always. And I just think this is a really, really great 90-minute movie.
Oh, it's
sharp, an original concept, really great directing.
Do you think it could have been a cinematic release? Or do you think it works better as a Netflix?
I think because of the subject matter and how good the filmmaking is, I think it could have been released in cinema. With better marketing, though. It would have to be marketed way better because, again, not many people even heard about it. And the only reason why people have heard about it is because of word of mouth and the fact that it's top 10 on Netflix kind of thing. That's the only reason why. But really good film, man. And yeah, bro.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick was so good, like as starring in it and acting and directing. Come on, bro. It's fantastic. I was thinking on the way here, what are some great kind of like first-time directorial debuts kind of thing from an actor? I'll say Clint. Clint did, I think...
What's Clint? Clint's been working though, bro.
Clint has been working. There's one movie called something... Calling Misty or Call Me Misty or something like that. It's a film about music. Clint, is it? That's Clint, bro. And he started in 1971. I don't know why I'm blanking on the title, but it's got Misty in the title.
When did how old was Clint when he started directing?
Oh, he was, I think, late 40s, I believe.
He's in his life.
Yeah, he's been at it. Honestly, phenomenal director. Sofia Coppola, Virgin Suicides, and then she had a great career after that. Jordan Peele, of course, Get Out.
Hey, listen, I love his journey, man. I love his journey. He's always been involved. I love that transition that he's made, like, and especially because a lot of the stuff I knew him for was like comedy and so on and so forth, and so like, but we've always known, like I say, he's had a love for horror, and the way he was able to like merge the two,
exactly,
because horror is not like a palatable genre for like the masses, but he made it through Get Out, where it's like, this is funny but also like very profound in its themes and so on, but it's also got scary elements. It's great.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Couldn't talk about that film more highly.
That's a good one you picked out, you know.
Instant classic, that one.
I've got one here for you, Ben Affleck.
About to say, you gone baby gone. You beat me to it. Yeah, great film.
What do you think of Ben Affleck as a director?
Very good director, man.
He's good, you know.
He knows what he's doing. Very knowledgeable.
I feel like he's in his. It's mad to say, because he's not in his peak, but I feel like he's in his best position now as a all-round creator of film.
Because he has right now artist equity. His kind of production company
With Matt Damon, right?
With Matt Damon, and a hedge fund.
They started that with the Michael Jordan film, right?
Yeah, that was the first one they did it with, that film. Yeah, good knowledge. So yeah, bro, I've got Live by Night, Argo. He's made some great films, man. Some really great films.
I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck. I think in the last year he was great. I think that's really Scott's best film in the last few years. He didn't direct, obviously. I know I'm more thinking about acting, but yeah.
The Last Duel.
Yeah, The Last Duel.
Fantastic film.
Ridley Scott with Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon. Yeah, Jodie Comer, Adam Driver. Brother, do you know not many people agree with us? They don't like that film, which I don't believe. I can't believe it. It's like a modern day Rashomon.
It's a good film.
You know, what I mean, a Kira Kurosawa film.
From Disney Plus, people should check it out. Man.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Let me think of some more. George Clooney, A Confession of a Dangerous Mind, was a very, very good directorial debut. Good, decent film.
Worth a watch?
Definitely, I'd definitely say so.
I see Jon Favreau. I didn't know this till now. Made his director debut was made.
Yeah,
didn't know that.
So he's to be fair, he's had a great career.
Jon Favreau, he's had a stellar one, bro.
Right. Chef, outstanding film. If anyone hasn't seen it already, what a film! I want to say Orson Welles, Citizen Kane. He wanted to also make some great films. I think Citizen Kane is widely considered one of the best films ever made, and still holds up. If anyone hasn't watched it here in the UK, it's on BBC iPlayer. Go give it a watch if you haven't.
Let me add that to my list now.
Outstanding film.
Let me add that to my list.
Rob Reiner.
What film was that, sorry?
That is Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Outstanding film on iPlayer. Also on iPlayer, let me shout out iPlayer. Malcolm X. X is on there. Malcolm X.
Which?
Spike Lee. Denzel.
See
give
Denzel,
that a watch. Yeah. You see Denzel, yeah?
That's my goat, man.
That's my goat as well. Like this is why we're friends, bro.
Because and I think the problem with people, I know this is off what you was going for in terms of topic.
Yeah.
But people, his critics, which aren't many, will be like, oh, he's just playing Denzel. Bro, have you go look at his discography. Look at his acting.
The filmography is mad, yeah. It's mad, bro.
Filmography, sorry, I always do that with films.
No, you're music, man. I understand.
There's so much range. And fundamental, he's a theatre trained actor.
Classically trained.
If you're going to tell me that this guy's only got one note because all you want to watch is a particular section of his films, which is like Training Day, American Gangster, you choose to watch those. Yeah. He's got so much range.
Go watch Mississippi Masala. You know what I mean?
He's got so much range. I only saw Inside Man recently. I saw that this year. Yeah, I saw it this year.
For the first time?
Yeah.
What a treat.
It was
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm kind of jealous, bro. You know, when people say stuff like that, I'm jealous, bro. Like, you watched that for the first time? I wish I could watch that for the first time, bro.
It was him, Chiwetel
Ejiofor, yeah. Jodie Foster.
Bro, that film is a treat, bro. Bro, I really had a good time with that. That's one of my favorite watches of the year.
Bro, outstanding film.
But yeah, Denzel was incredible. That's the man.
Do you know what I rewatched recently, bro? John Q.
Elijah watched it recently.
Yeah, bro. Cause I watched it literally off the conversation I had with Elijah.
Oh.
What a film.
First time?
No. Okay. Bro, I've seen it many times, but I haven't seen it like good.
Give me a first time watch for you this year.
First time watch this year.
Something that you should have watched that you hadn't. Everyone's got though. Alright, or maybe not even just this year, but what's the first time watch?
I think I looked one recently on Letterboxd.
I'd say Inside Time was my first time watch this year. I was like, oh wow, how have you not seen this before?
That's good. To be fair, what a film! What a film to have only watched this year. Like a kind of classic.
Up to you, bro.
A classic film I hadn't watched.
Nightcrawler, I only watched this year.
Wow.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Good film.
Very good film.
Dark though.
Very dark. Very dark. Very, very dark.
Goes into the mental psyche of what it takes to be in that world. Yeah, no, I'm mad. What else is there? And my last one.
Yep.
Crazy Stupid Love. Never seen it till this year. I had a treat this year, bro.
You've been what a film.
I've been feasting.
What a treat.
Yeah, I've been feasting this year. I was never really a rom-com guy as a kid, or rom comedy / rom drama. Good film. Stacked cast as well.
I got it.
Go on.
Original Aladdin.
Is it?
It's passed me by. I never watched it.
How did that pass you?
I have no idea. It's just one of those ones that passed me by. So yeah, I was watching that with my little nephews. Oh, this is decent. I'm in Robin Williams, and then it's kind of funny to think how it was ruined by Will Smith and that recent production.
I actually watched that.
Directed by Guy Ritchie, by the way.
Weird, isn't it?
What's your STC rating for The Woman of the Hour?
7.
7, yeah? I'm gonna give it 7.5.
I'm mad. I can lean that way.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. You know, I mean, enjoyed that. Obviously, the tangent that we went afterwards about obviously first-time directors and stuff like that. So that was great. Yeah, appreciate you guys as always.
Especially aesthetically, that film is. I really like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man.
Cool. Peace.